Shalom and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Thanks for joining me on this series of biblical commentaries on news events that are happening in the world and especially here in Israel, called Where in the World Are We Going? Now, it's been a joy to be with you, and what I'm holding here in my hand at this particular season is called a shofar. And why? Because we're just coming up to Rosh Hashanah, or the day of blowing, or the Yom Teruah, which is when Jewish people all over the world blow the shofar in the synagogues, and it's announcing the new year, the new Jewish year. And everyone is saying to each other as you greet one another in the streets, Shana Tova, may you have a happy new year, and Shana Tova ve'metuka, may it be sweet, new year, full of blessings. And at this time of year, we dip apples into honey and eat that as a sign of this sweet new year. But you know, this particular instrument I'm holding here is what we call a Jewish alarm clock. Because in the Bible it says, sound an alarm and blow a trumpet on my holy hill on Zion. And so this shofar has always been used in Jewish history to do several things. One, of course, was to call a holy assembly of people together, to let them gather into the synagogue or into the temple area or into a place of worship. And it was a calling together the assembly for a holy convocation, a holy reason to worship and praise God and give thanks. Secondly, the shofar was always blown and used to mobilize the troops. You know, when the watchmen were watching on the walls and they could see the enemy coming, they would blow the shofar in a certain way, which would announce to the people inside the walls of the city what to do. And if you were a soldier, that meant you were mobilized immediately. And thirdly, the shofar would be blown to announce the movement of the camp. If the enemy was such a large number and it was necessary, then everyone in the camp would know that they had to mobilize, leave everything, and move quickly. And it's interesting today, in Israel, we are mobilized quickly by the sound of not a shofar, but of a siren. And we all know what to do to go into our bomb shelters, and we're prepared for that. And the fourth thing that a shofar was used for in antiquity was for the crowning of the king, to announce when a new king was being crowned. And so it's very interesting because in this series, we are actually sounding an alarm because of what's happening all around us. And the way it's blown is very interesting. There's three main sounds of the shofar on Yom HaTeruah, on the day of the blowing, on Rosh Hashanah. First is a long blast, symbolizing God's love and God's covenants and promises to the Jewish people forever from time past, from creation. Secondly, there was a short three blasts. We call them shevarim, which were symbolic of man without God, when man was lost without a relationship to his creator. And these are like a cry, you'll hear it, and I'll blow it in just a minute. They're like a cry. And then, of course, there's the 9 staccato blasts, which is symbolic of the joy that one feels and senses when they are back in contact with their living creator, and they can feel his love for them, and they want to express that joy with these sounds. And then, of course, there's one long blast again at the end for symbolizing God's love forever for the future to his people. So here we go, if I can do it. That's the long blast. as we say over here, so far, so good. I was able to do that. So pray for Israel right now as they're going through this season of the high holy days. The day of the blowing of the shofar, Rosh Hashanah, marks 10 days when we are repenting before the Lord and going to our neighbors, going to anyone that may have, we have anything against, or we've insulted in any way or hurt their feelings in any way during the year, and we must go to them during that time and ask forgiveness so that we will be ready to meet with our Maker on Yom Kippur, on the Day of Atonement, which is the most important day in terms of, relating to God as a people, as a nation, and as individuals. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special season that we've entered into, and I want to wish you and yours every blessing during this high holy day season. And we wish you Shana Tova and Betukah and a sweet new year in your home and in your place. And we're so glad to be able to come to you on a regular basis like this. And I look forward to having an opportunity of meeting with you very soon as we continue on with our series, Where in the World Are We Going?